again. Almost 7 o'clock on the dot. How's the timing? Got my magic vest on. Won this beauty from a competition on V Energy a few years ago. 6, 7 years ago. So, night time. Got some tools, got some food. Get some sleep. Play video games to do fantasy things you don't do in real life, you know? Like, get a full night's sleep. So we're still just getting things ready for this ditch over here. And we need this for this. Just trying to familiarise myself with what was going on because I was in a bit of pain and was very tired when we finished up last night. It's all a bit fuzzy. Good thing I don't have to think too hard about this. Just hard enough to try and remember what's going on. Get rid of these. Also, if I suddenly disappear and don't come back, it's because I'm in Katunk, by the way. Queensland, Australia, where there are possibly some rolling blackouts tonight thanks to some private power operators who decided they're not going to make enough money by producing power for everyone tonight. So we might lose power, we might not. So I'm streaming, see what happens. But if I disappear, that's what it is. Could also be the internet. But it's most likely just going to be that our power will just flick off. So I hope everyone likes digging. That's what we'll be doing. Just sort of shaving all the higher points of this back before I work out from the previous pit. Probably have to fill some ocean on this one too. Just full of sand is looking pretty fun. Sounds like a ghost train. Trust the sand around here because there's a big gap there. And I've already seen a lot of it fall quite fast on it too. Katunk. Katunk. That didn't last long. Sort of damaged that one and the past stream. Sand. Katunk. That's not what I want to do, but okay. It's trying to pop out a zombie, but it doesn't. I don't know the rules on those things. But then I don't hang around it at night time. Maybe it only pops them out at night time since they burn during the day. That could be the thing. Julie, do the thing. So, I've been eating meat this entire game. This will be the first piece of foliage that my Minecraft Steve has eaten. So he's probably going to be shitting a lot tomorrow in Minecraft World. There you go, Steve. Try that out. Ah. Should get the sand away first, shouldn't I? See, full. Let's do this. Why am I putting dirt? Doing this the wrong way. Getting all messed up. We will burn some bricks first. Take that too. There we go. Let's do all of it. And I guess because we are digging that way, let's go fill in this water. We'll save us some time later. Just on the other side of these terracotta hills. We'd already started. Messing up a couple, but we're largely getting it right. Okay, that was a few. That was more than a couple. too many more. I'm mothering that too. Impatient, not getting my aim right. Rah! When are they going to make mind reading games? The shallow stuff is more annoying to fill in than the deep water. It's just so much harder to offload the bricks at speed. Shallow water, you don't have, in deep water, you don't have to worry about the accuracy because it all just sinks to the bottom. In shallow water, you start building above sea level, or the water level anyway. And again. That one is just... No excuse for I'm doing it more and more. caving on my head if I'm not careful. Don't bump anything. I think I'm kind of done with that for now. I need to get another bed out there. I think, and make another hut. It's just getting too far away to run back every day. As was the mountain, which is why there's a bed up there now too. Offload all this again, because I don't intend on doing it again. Anytime too soon. I think we got rid of enough to sort of last us for a bit. Those plant-based meals, Steve. Just like Oreos. Or plant-based. A packet that you can barely get into. Starting to see that offshoot on the map. So if this is the top, we'll start going down again from here. Yeah, don't do that often. Oh, what happened there? Broken Oreo. Kind of up. I've done it already, haven't I? It's there, but I guess this is still okay. I can step back up to it. staircase and make sure I don't mess that up again. Because I'm likely to do that. But yeah, let's just get rid of this. Make sure like this level be the top. Because this looks sticky. So it's here, isn't it? Yes. Just want to dug that out. Katunk. Someone's exhaust is popping. Not in a cool popping way, like technically it is popping. I'm totally lost with this. It is this. It's this line. Which means this can go. And it's this line. Which means from there. Pardon? Oh, Orion. Morian. Haven't had a chance to say that for a while. Sorry to hear about your show, Statful. But, I'm guessing it got sad for some of the main characters, not just all the people who died had horrible medical conditions as part of the show. I turned game sounds down to like 30%. I can make them go down further. But I was asking if the show got sad about got sad for the main characters, or if they got sad for all the people who had horrible medical conditions and died as part of the show anyway. Because it was already sort of sad for that reason. Main characters, yeah. Is there a relationship breakup? Ooh, miscarriage. Yeah, that is sad. Always difficult. Yeah, probably best not to. A triggering subject, that one, for some people. Thanks. It's got all the thing on it. It's my magic vest. Totally forgot I had it. That win from that V Energy comp from like 6 years ago. Generally only crack it out at Christmas time because technically it's a Christmas fest. But now it's a Minecraft fest. A green screen fest. I think we're just going to steal some of this iron and go back to the hut so we don't get too many creepers spawn. I don't have all these holes in my staircase. These they are Christmas trees, believe it or not. Red Christmas trees. I think we still got enough tools there. Steve's getting a bit of plant-based matter at the moment from chopping down trees. Not spruce. Maybe they could be spruce. There are some actual green trees on here too, but you sort of can't see them with Minecraft being superimposed on it. And Oreos. Morning creeper check. Plenty of skeletons. Oh. As you can see from my devastated front door, I've had a lot of creeper problems. I'm offloading all my blocks. My lava has escaped many times. Keep the gravel, keep the sand. Oof, that was higher than I thought it was. Well, I can turn them down. Below. It's the reason why we couldn't hear the lurk sounds before and the follow sounds is because I had the desktop audio turned off, and I probably had the desktop audio turned off because the game was so loud. So it's kind of a find the balance type thing. And it turns out that, yeah, I need to have the game turned down to like 10% to not be going over the top of my sound effects and my own voice. This whole OBS thing, that's been the hardest part, I reckon, is getting the audio right. Yeah, because the desktop audio was at 0 and it turned off completely. Not sure why. There. 4 shovels. 4 shovels so far. Yeah, I think that's a good idea too. Start for writing down all the... Once I do find a good balance. Writing it down. See if anything resets or I change computer or something, I'll just go start again. Maybe I don't, but with the knowledge that I have, I do. Thanks for the second alert. Make the game sounds 10% like the music. Because I think they're still at 15 or 20 at the moment. Katunk. Turn my volume up now so I can hear them. Because I still want to hear the creepers and stuff creeping. Just want to get this staircase to the spawner right, and then we'll start going down a bit more. And I think I'll need enough iron to make some new bootsies and a new sword. And then we can start making iron tools again. Woo! Exciting stuff. Sorry. You don't have to smell it though. Katunk. Excuse me. Gas is coming all over the shop. Drop the sand and gravel. Sandstone. Sand. All I've got to do is hiccup and cough now, and I've got a full set. It's always so sad when these packs come to an end. There's never enough in them. Last one. Free food. Gross food, but free food. Kadunk. Katunk. Let's not blunt the sword on the rocks. Excuse me again. Katunk. Oh, where's it going this time? There. That was a pickaxe. Number 10. Almost at sea level. Katunk. Living dangerously, horse. rises again. I'm at sea level. Ka-dunk. Sand this time around. Yeah, a little bit. Sand. No gravel. That's andesite. No gravel. Got enough to start doing that again. Do we have enough here for some bootsies? We do. Put them in here for now. Right, so we just need enough for a sword. And then we could make some pickaxes, mostly. You know, iron shovels are good too, but you can really see the difference with pickaxes. Feel the difference. Let's go for a bit without making any more pickaxes and shovels. We've still got a couple. Ka-dunk. I have to say this would be difficult if that thing was popping out zombie every so often. Well, I guess I could wall it off. hello. There's a bunny in here. Bunny, you can't go anywhere. Sorry, bud. You were stuck. I helped you. Katunk. It's about here somewhere. There it is. Senny, how's things? Yeah, not too bad. You know me, just digging. I've sort of finished my mountain project over there, which I think is what I was doing last time you were in. Brought that down to sea level behind my hut. Masterpiece it is. And I'm starting a second pit next to this one. So that's the starting pit. Gonna bring the top here and then staircase downwards like that, but there. But I'm just preserving this this little zombie spawner that I found. So it's gonna be like a little promenade over the top of the pit. But we're right at the start, so it's just digging. There's not a lot to look at, not a lot new. Yeah, just doing the old stuff. Well, just looking at the old stuff, digging the new stuff, which is going to take forever. That's cool. Thanks for dropping by. How was your stream? I saw you were on Minecraft earlier. You're still playing the same game you were yesterday? Where you were in that giant cabin? I should go sleepies. Lots of fun. We started a Sky Factory 3 server today. I don't even know what that is. I've actually never played any Minecraft apart from this one. Skyblock, so many mods, yeah. I've sort of tuned into a few people playing Minecraft here and there, and it just looks so busy to me. Get so used to this basic version. Start off on a tree that's on a block of dirt, right? So it's just empty space, which is what I'm trying to achieve. Maybe I should just start with that. Then I'd be like, ta-da, project finished. That'd be easy, wouldn't it? Yeah. It'd be... Forget the sticks. Entertaining and sad at the same time. Did you watch that? I can never even say the name of the games place, Bethesda or whatever, the Microsoft games announcement last night. Well, it was last night for me, but I guess it might not have been for you. Because, yeah, it started at 1 in the morning here. I was up to about 11 and I was like, I couldn't anymore. So I went to bed. Yeah, I think Starfield was the big announcement, wasn't it? Not that I've ever played that either. I was pretty excited for the follow-up to Hollow Knight. Yeah, they talk a lot about Starfield. I think Starfield was like physically the largest game. Something like 100 planets and, you know, so many star systems and whatever you can explore. Yeah, Minecraft Legends. Saw a little bit of footage of that. I haven't watched the whole thing. Yeah, it's going to be called Silk Song. And it looks full on. It looks like it'll make Cuphead feel easy, is what it looks like. You should look up YouTube and just watch the trailer. It's cray-cray. I think it will be. I think, yeah, it does look good. I mean, I loved Hollow Knight, but it was hard. And this one looks harder. That was a shovel. And yeah, it'll be available on Xbox Game Pass, because I think Hollow Knight's only on the PlayStation, wasn't it? I've got it on PlayStation. But yeah, they announced it on Xbox last night. Oh, right. I got it on the PlayStation Play Pass, or whatever they call their thing. I obviously just never bothered looking for it anywhere else, so I just played it on that. The stream actually played it still. Oh, Steam. Oh yeah, I'd fully recommend it. It's beautifully dark is probably how I would describe it. Like, it's a solid platformer, but just the music and the atmosphere and the dialogue and just the general story, it's wonderful. Yeah. No, I feel you. The backlog of games. I still have 5 or 6 physical games, you know, discs and cartridges and whatever, that I just haven't even loaded onto my consoles yet. And I've had them for like 6 months. That was a pickaxe. Never mind the ones that I've downloaded from Game Pass, barely touched. It's just too many games, not enough time. That's a lot of games. Plus Game Pass, yeah. Yeah, all right, you beat me with that sort of number. Yeah, I had a really bad experience with Steam 7 or 8 years ago when I won a copy of Civilization 5, and I had to, it was just a, even though I had like a box and a booklet and everything, it wasn't a physical copy, there was just a game code inside, but I was forced to download Steam to use it. It was just so painful, and I've never gone back since. I have a pretty decent PC now, but I've only had it for about 2 months. I've had this old Hewlett Packard touchscreen for like the last 8 years, so hadn't really bothered with PC gaming for a while, but I've always had the latest consoles, you know, so been a console gamer the majority of the last 20 years. In the 90s I was a big PC gamer. But not since. Not willing to drop any numbers, huh? Plenty of consoles, yeah. Yeah, I got the latest Xbox and PlayStation and one of the original Nintendo Switches. I used to have a massive retro collection as well, but about a decade ago, got sick and lost my job and just, you know, had to sell shit to pay the bills, you know, usual story. Recovered now, but, well, sort of. But yeah, I've just completely lost my retro game collection and I really miss it. Just haven't bothered starting again because it'd just be so many thousands of dollars to get it all back. So yeah, just the latest stuff. Although I still have one of my old original like 1982 Ataris that's still in the cupboard. And I have a brand new TV that still has an aerial antenna socket, you know, so I can still plug it in and play it. Those cartridges all still work. You just got to, you know, blow air into them for 5-10 minutes first. They're one of the streamlined ones, are they? I sort of forget the model numbers. I even forget the model number for the one I have, but it's the case is more wood than plastic. Commodore 64. That ColecoVision wasn't big here in Australia. I've heard of it, but I think it was pretty limited. Commodore 64 was huge. We had one in our classroom at school. We were only allowed to use it on recess and lunch though. Played those pick your own adventure games. But they weren't worth playing at recess, because recess was only 15 minutes long and they take 8 minutes to load the game. Compact, that was being thrown out. Yeah, I remember the brand of mine. I think my first computer was one that a friend's dad had put together, and he built it himself, so it was all bits and pieces. But I remember it had a 8.6 processor that I think was 1 megahertz, and I had a quarter of a meg of RAM to start with, and a hard drive was 20 megabytes. I put Windows 3.1 on it, took up the whole hard drive. It was fun just moving those icons around. Feeling a bit lost in my game here now. Oh yeah, Duke Nukem, I love that one. Played that heaps. DOS system. Yeah, Prince of Persia, that was a big one too. I think I had to upgrade to a 286 before I could play that. But yeah, I used DOS a lot. X-Tree Gold. Used to, make your own basic games. Since I have a shovel in my hand, I'll just go here and get rid of this dirt. Too busy thinking about old games from the 80s and 90s. Trying to think what else. Stunts. Did you ever play Stunts? On the PC, early 90s. Graphics obviously weren't great, but it was pretty smooth for the time period, and you could design your own tracks. You can play Stunts. Goes like crazy now on a modern piece processor. You gotta purposely slow it down, otherwise you can't see what's going on. What else did we play? Civilization 2 was a massive one for me. We love that one. All the Sierra ones, Heroes Quest, Quest for Glory, all the Space Quests, of course. Roger Wilco and the Cosmic Gender Bender was a great one. Did you ever see that one? It's like a spin-off of, like a spoof of Space Quest, even though Space Quest sort of were spoofs themselves. System I had. Yeah, well, not that I think you need to add anything for your to play list, but most of these games are available for free now. King's Quest was another really good one. And there's an updated version of that in the Game Pass, which is beautifully done. Imagine my dad started buying me parts and new systems whenever games he was done playing. Several old DOS games I want to play still, yeah. Yeah, I'd like to revisit a couple. Beneath a Steel Sky, I don't know that one. Not get much sand. Just sandstone. Point and click, yeah. A lot of the Space Quests were like that. If you, I don't know if you follow Rosalika in that Immortal Hooligans Discord. She does Space Quest games. She has a retro night. Can't remember what night it was. Friday, Saturday, something like that. So yeah, she's fun to watch if you want to catch up on the Space Quest games. Although I think she's up to number 5 now, Space Quest 5. There's quite a few of them. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I said, the only old console I've got is the Atari, which is, you know, a lot of those games are fun for the first 10 seconds. Well, to watch anyway. I've actually got a little sit-down arcade table in the lounge room with an emulator on it and 60-odd old games from the period, like Quicks and Frogger, 1942, those sorts of things. So it doesn't have any memory though, so we've got a whiteboard up with all our high scores written on it. Every PS except the 5. See, I had a PS1 and a PS2 and then a PS5. I completely skipped the 3 and 4. I sort of went Nintendo and I had an Xbox One. I didn't have any Xboxes until the Xbox One. But yeah, I've had every single Nintendo. Actually, I didn't have a Nintendo 64. I was sort of in my late teens at the time and went fruit picking for a couple of years and didn't really play video games at that stage. So I never had a 64, but I've had every other Nintendo ever since the company started. Demon's Souls, fun to get a PC release. Yeah, never gonna bother. Yeah, I've never really played those games either. I did have a go at what was the launch one for the PS5? Can't remember what it's called now, but I paid like $110 for it. Played it like twice and then traded it in 6 months later. That's going to bother me now. I can't even remember the name of it. I thought it was part of the Demon's Souls group of games. Yeah, well, you know, it was the launch. At least it had a good trade-in. I bought that Dungeons and Dragons first. Maybe it was Demon's Souls. Yeah, I got that latest Dungeons and Dragons game at the first day release about 8 months ago. And it was pretty shit. It was kind of just a smash and grab. Or maybe it must have been the remaster then. I think it was the remaster. But yeah, it kept its trade-in value. It was good. But that Dungeons and Dragons game, I tried to trade in 3 months later after paying almost $100 for that. And they only gave me like $7 for it because just about everybody who purchased it traded it in because it was crap. Which was a shame. There were some really good Dungeons and Dragons games on the PC in the 90s. But not lately, it seems. No, I don't think so anyway. That'd be too hard for Americans to play. Well, I'm Australian and I found it was pretty difficult to play. They were very wrong. Started pumping out more copies and spawned the whole Souls series. Yeah, well, it's been pretty popular. I was never much of a horror fan, I guess. I kind of like... I don't think it's the reason that I never really got onto it, but I just don't need all the blood and gore, I guess. Pretty happy for my enemies just to disappear in a puff of smoke, leaving behind their coins or whatever. Yeah, Minecraft is fantastic. I'm sort of ruining it for myself with this one. You know, I don't really play. I've got a couple of other Minecraft games that I've had with my kids and my partner and whatever else, but I just don't touch them anymore because I'm just in this one all the time, just trying to get this done. So it's kind of ruined it a bit for me, but it's largely just when I'm not streaming a game, I largely just go back to Breath of the Wild or play Civilization 6 just to relax. They probably got to be my two favourite games outside of Minecraft, I reckon. Ka-tunk. Ow. Ow. Oh, you seem to be doing okay. I feel like I know what you're trying to say. And maybe I'm getting it wrong. I don't know how that goes. Don't stand on the sand. Yeah, I do it when I'm talking. It's like my brain jumps ahead about a sentence and I forget the filler in words. Sometimes they come out in the wrong order. So, yeah. Yeah, I find that too. Most people sort of know what you're talking about. It's like all those memes you get where you know, half the words missing or whatever. It's like, you have an IQ of 200 if you can read this. And half of it's not actually there. Yeah, well, it already has condensed. It really hasn't it? I mean, have you read Shakespeare lately? There's a lot of extra shit in there that doesn't need to be there. Oh, Jane Austen was even worse. I mean, Emma could really be 10 pages long. Probably going to get shot for saying that on a public forum. But it is what it is. But I'm kind of hoping it doesn't get as bad as you've seen Idiocracy. Most people have seen Idiocracy by now. If you haven't, I recommend watching Idiocracy. Yeah, right. Well, I feel like the language, or any language, needs a certain amount of flourish to prevent that sort of thing from happening. Yeah. You're in the UK? No, you're in Colorado. That's right. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. Yeah, well, the news that we get over here coming out of the USA it looks pretty crazy, that's for sure. I mean, things are far from perfect here, but holy moly. send help. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'd send at this stage. A couple of politicians, maybe. I mean, we got some shit ones too. I remember seeing one news report. I'm not even sure. Buying a shotgun for safety. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, the whole gun ownership thing. Yeah, it's not a problem we have here. We had a mass shooting in 1996, I think, in Australia, in Tasmania, which is our southernmost state. Some nutjob with a semi-automatic rifle and a few other guns opened fire in a cafe at a tourist place, killed about 30 people. And our, at the time, Conservative government, our Conservative Party was in power, banned all semi-automatic and fully automatic weapons, and they did like this 6-year amnesty where you could just drop your guns off at a police station, no question asked. Doesn't matter what the gun was or if it was registered or whatever. As long as you were handing it in, they didn't care. And yeah, I think in the first year they got, this is in a country with a population of, I think Australia at the time was about 22 million people. In the first year they got like 500,000 guns handed into the police, and it worked, and we just haven't had a mass shooting since. Talking so much and I'm not doing my game. That's okay. Yeah. And from what I hear, a lot of other countries have done the same thing, but America's just not. Like, didn't Republicans reject a bill that required people on the terror list to wait 3 days to purchase a gun? It's not like, it wasn't even people who are on the terror list can't get a gun. It's people on the terror list had to wait 3 days to purchase one, and they even knocked that back. I mean, that's just crazy. Oh, sorry to hear about your neighbour. Did you know them, or was it just the proximity of the event that sort of did it for you? More background checks, yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's just crazy. You can just buy a gun with little to no background checks. Just casually knew them by proximity. Yeah. And it's the type of weapons too. Like those assault rifles. Like, why does anyone need an assault rifle? You don't need an assault rifle. Oh, I hear an Enderman. Been some break-ins too, yeah. See, I'm in a country town in Australia, and I can't remember the last time I even locked my door. Granted, we do have a big dog, but he lives out the back, not out the front. Long backlog when you bought the shotgun. Had it within an hour. Right. All relative. When I get told by a shop here there's a long backlog for any other product, I expect to wait about 3 months. Not an hour. Even when I'm on the phone, I'm told you are next in the queue. I'm still waiting 15 minutes. Yeah. But it really extends outside of America too, or the events do. Like, every time a mass shooting over there sort of like pops up in the news in a big way, like, all my social medias are just full of two extremely polarizing opinions. Everyone just feels the need to get online and let everyone know what they think. And sometimes those people really shouldn't. Because they reveal how crazy they are. No. I'd like my stairs to be nice and neat, please. Honestly, the scariest part of me is realizing it's unlikely anybody could stop us even if they tried. You mean America is a country with all the gun laws? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Sorry, I was rambling on so much that could probably apply to 5 or 6 things I've said in general. Yeah, well, I mean, you're starting from a really difficult spot, aren't you? I mean, that country is just saturated in weapons. It's a really hard point to come back from, I think, where America is. Yeah. More guns than people. Probably 10 times over. In Australia, we have more cars than people, which is crazy as well. Hey, Ox Tretto. How you doing? Good to see you again. We are talking about gun problems in America. Shank, not even a sharp one. You're talking about your toothbrush, aren't you? Ox Tretto, that shank you're talking about is your toothbrush. You've been sharpening it on the concrete at the back. And yeah, general lack of feeling safe. Just the comparison between where El Seni lives and where I live in a country town. Because I'm in a country town where I don't even lock my door. And El Seni has recently had to purchase a gun because their neighbour was killed. It's very stark. Yeah, I don't know about New Zealand. I was in New Zealand in 2007. And I went to the Roos Mine. Like that scene from Jurassic Park, but it's a kangaroo. Let's hope they learn how to open doors. Yeah, I went to Rotorua in 2007. They've got all sorts of crazy things that tourists can do. I did some clay shooting. And you literally walk up to the counter in a busy tourist shop and say, I want to do some clay shooting. And they say, it was like $7. And they put a shotgun on the counter and a whole box of live ammo and said, sign this form. And the form said, it's very difficult to sue people in New Zealand, so if you hurt yourself, that's on you. And that was it. No ID check, no questions, nothing. I was just in a room full of people, and for $7 they just gave me a shotgun and a box full of ammo. So I don't know what I haven't read a lot of New Zealand gun laws, but I don't hear about gun crimes in New Zealand, so I'm sure they have something. Yeah, I guess. The other thing is they had one of those, in Australia we call them silly cars, but it's basically a drag car. It's like an engine and a roll cage is essentially what it is. And again, for $10 I could hoot around this track at like 100 k's an hour just doing these tight circles. And I tell you what, the wheels on that thing looked like they were going to explode. And the same thing, it was like, you sign this form saying, if you die, it's your fault for getting in the car in the first place. And other than that, it's like, go for it. But then Rotorua specifically sort of sits above all these boiling hot sulfur pits, and they've literally had like the ground in the middle of town just fall away into these sulfur pits, and all the concrete melts and whatever. So I guess when you live at a place like that, it's kind of like, well, you're gonna die of something, right? There was a shooting at a church in New Zealand. The PM immediately banned it and paid all the return guns. Yeah, that's right, there was. That was about a year ago. That's right, they had a mass shooting there. That guy went crazy in the Islamic church, and I think he killed about 30-something people, didn't he? I completely forgot about that, which I'm kind of ashamed of. Yeah, so that's been fairly recent then, the tightening of gun laws there. Auntie Jacinda. Auntie Jacinda is pretty cool. Everyone here was so jealous of Jacinta Ardern when we had Scott Morrison. Hopefully Albo will make us feel a bit better about our Prime Minister once again. He's still wearing up though. Give him another couple of months, see how he goes. Best we have is Gladys. You reckon? I don't know. ICAC might say different. Waiting for that federal one. I feel like there's some people will end up in jail if that actually happens. Oh, 30%? I don't think it'll be 30%. He doesn't actually have like an executive decision on that. He can only give recommendations, and from what I've heard is he's asked for 5%, and it's not his choice. So I don't think we're going to see 30% on today's wages for another 20 years. Wild outfits, yeah. Certainly had some wild photo shoots on what do they call those, lifestyle magazines that are inserted in the middle of the newspaper. She featured a lot on those. But now we're talking about local state politicians. Elseni's going to have no idea who we're talking about. Yeah, not a clue. It's very specific. And this person's not even in a state that either myself or Oxtreto is in. Sort of lost track of what I'm doing here. I need more sticks. Oxtreto for PM. $3 billion worth of money monthly. What's the Perth Mint currently print? Maybe they already do that. printing money like a wartime trick. $3 million more. Thanks, Alceni. Really appreciate it. We're still climbing towards affiliate, slowly but surely. I'm hoping by the time I get there, the map will look really interesting, so that when I start getting people in, I'll have a real visual show going on. It's not just my best. It'll all be Venezuela and Argentina. I heard gas is quite cheap in Venezuela. Maybe that won't be so bad. I think I paid $2.10 a litre last time I filled the car up. And at least they're good at soccer. They could beat Italy. Well, I'd vote for you. That sounds like it'll really shake up the status quo, make things interesting for a while. Of course, everything looks interesting when you're starving hungry. Because everything looks like food. Although someone already sort of did that, you know. Everyone who owned a house in 10 years ago is now, and still owns it, is now pretty much automatically a millionaire. You don't have to get everyone's vote to be PM. You can do it on about a third of the population. That's fair enough. You going to do it with Chinese burns or wet willies? How are you going to convince him? Now see, if you want to be a dictator, you actually don't need anyone's vote. That's the great thing about being a dictator. You can just bypass the whole voting process. What you need is a military. Got one of those laying around? Any of those kangaroos that you lock out of your house can help you out? They can fight. American Samoa. No, they've probably got guns. Kiwis wouldn't really have anything to beat the kangaroos unless they got too close to some of their shallow streams. They do have some nasty eels. Well, the emus have already won one war, haven't they? And it was over there in West Australia too. Given that was in West Australia, do you like get taught that in school over there, or you just got to use Wikipedia like the rest of us? You said you couldn't get Birdman as a link. Did you try anything with Emu in it? Ka-dunk. 20. Back noises. Keep losing this pen. There. The screen's really bright, and then I look down and it's a black desk cover and the pen is black, and my eyes have to adjust. I can't see the pen. Yeah, no worries. I'll be here. Do what you gotta do. Taking over a country takes a lot of work. Even if you got emus. lunch. Spot where I want it to stay. Super annoying. Yep, 9:07 here. Do we need to sync watches? Is there going to be an explosion? Anything I need to know about? It's digging, Stoutfall, it's digging. It's been very sporadic, but it can be. We've been having conversations about guns, things not being safe in Colorado, Rotorua falling into pits of sulfur, taking over the country with emus, kangaroos opening doors. It's been lots of fun. It's been political. It's gotten very political. It's a good thing there are no guillotines around. Heads would have rolled. That's pickaxe. Roos and emus. They don't call it a kangaroo court for nothing. I would love a cup of tea, Stoutful. Thank you. Stoutfall is also in Australia. In fact, they are in the living room. There's some echidnas in the government as well. Lizard people. Wearing human suits. What was that guy's name that wrote that book about the lizard people? Saw him not too long ago on a talk show. I can't remember his name. The Illuminati being lizards and eating children and all that. TV show V, although I think they did an update, a new one. Haven't seen the new one, but I watched the old one. The old one's pretty good, worth watching. Ka-dunk. Oh, I didn't notice that my backing had moved, or maybe the camera moved. Half a wall there. Oh well. It's probably been there a while now. Thing that I don't stream from a mechanics workshop. There's dodgy crap all over the walls. Why is it going to take such a long time? Chroma key on. I'm gonna go ahead and say no, just because I don't know what chroma key is. Is that something that will even out the flushed sunglass tan? That's what it sounds like. Could I look more respectable digitally? Digitally. Ka-dunk. Yeah. I'm wearing the vest on purpose because it does this. I first noticed it on the back to front by the camera, on the headphones, and so I just started wearing green things. I didn't do it on purpose. I think I never intended to be, but I sort of just became one of those old people that just sort of turns things on and just leaves the settings exactly as they are. As long as it works, I'm happy. Chroma key on it, set on green. Right, well, that's how it came out of the box. I do every so often get a bit brave and have a play with my OBS settings and Streamlabs and whatever, but I don't know. Every time I do, it's like I make something that I like, but then I tend to ruin two other things that I also liked. So it's like one step forward, two steps back, you know, like that old Paula Abdul song with the dancing cartoon cat. So I don't do it very often. set it on red and make my face disappear. Hello. Oh, thank you very much.
Or don't just start on your desk again.
No. Yeah, look, that's where the drink spilt last time. It sort of made that little thing there.
You should have asked me about cleaning it.
Well, I cleaned it pretty thoroughly at the time, but you know, it just did that.
What did you use?
Water. I just soaked it all out pretty much immediately.
Disappointing.
Oh, I've been standing here in the middle of nowhere having this conversation while the sun's down. Gonna die. Ooh, I'm level 42. The meaning of life, the universe, and everything. SPF 1000. Yes, I probably need that. I think I just need like a ski mask in the middle of summer to stop my face getting burnt. And of course I will look completely normal doing that now. I've still got heaps of tools. I won't make any more. Balaclava. Yeah, balaclava. Wouldn't work well for COVID or anything though, because I think your nose still sticks out of that, doesn't it? So I'd still end out with the red nose. Well, in that case, it wouldn't work well for the sun either. But maybe my cheeks would go same colour as my eye sockets again. What am I doing? Hitting all the wrong ones. Yeah, kidnapper look is in jail. Ah. You'd probably be questioned a couple of times, I think, with that look. You wouldn't be able to pay for your petrol. But maybe that's not such a bad thing. Who walks into a bank anymore these days? Or what's that? Oh, it's a blob. Thought it was a creeper coming up the stairs at me. Your friend has one. Yeah, you can get them at Kmart. I did it again. I remembered just as I fell off that it does that. Red chroma key would be hilarious. Now you're gonna join in, make more comments about my complexion. You're just lucky that I only cry off screen. That's right, just as the camera adds 20 pounds, it also adds several shades of red. My brain knew where I was going with that, it just didn't let me know. Oh, this looks like the iron we need. I think there's a sword and a couple of iron pickaxes in this. It'd be so nice to have iron pickaxes again. Get more views if you cried on screen. I'd attract that sensitive audience, do you think, Starfall? I'd be a lot more red if I cried on screen. Just make the threshold to 80%. Be flooding hair and mustache in no time. What about my eyes? I'd still have eyes. Although if I stab too late, they'll be red too. Ka-dunk. Ah, there. Minecraft, brah, let's go. Dream soup. Shay. Wanna go do ya, Shay? Like that. Keep posting stuff like that, Oxtrader, I'm going to have the Urban Dictionary open in the window next to me. Yeah, don't push it too far. It's not that kind of stream. Survival multiplayer. There's too many acronyms in this world. Call your mum, as in like you would be mum, or I would call your mother because I would be concerned about you. Was there an intervention? There was an intervention, wasn't there? Ah! I forget about the 2/3 of a second longer it takes to get through the call. Breakthrough in taking over the country. Ah! I can watch your stream on me watch. Ah! What type of watch you got? I've got one of those Fitbit Sense things, and I can like make phone calls and stuff on it, but the audio's awful. I haven't tried any video on it. You got one of those hosh posh Apple things. Yeah, Apple Watch, yeah. Never been an Apple fan. Had a couple of iPods, and I had the first Apple phone that came out, and it was awful. And I never got another one. brother's a big Apple fan. I hear if they're good, they're good. Like if you like them. Oh yeah, no, I'm cool with that. You do you. I probably just look like a little red dot on your Apple Watch, I guess. So what are you using to type on? I don't imagine you're using your watch for that. Apple Watch, you'd love to. I think that's probably a small demographic. You're going to start the support group. Party of one. At least you don't have to stack up too many chairs at the end of the meetings. Night is falling. Why does night fall and day break? Spiritual. Zombie. It's on the other side. Door got blown off a couple of times. I keep forgetting where I reattach it. Tea time. Pika. I guess I can use the rest of these tools and then come back for some iron ones. Ah, monsters. Can make me sleep in my spare bed. Spare bed always smells so funny. Keep it right there. No, go away. Didn't go away fast enough. I suppose. Excuse. to start putting it down in the same spot every time. That would probably solve my problem. You mean you haven't been so far? What about the emus? Well, you're actually going to admit that Apple Watch is crap. Oop, patunk. Let me sip my tea first. Now I'm ready for anything. When I opened the application, I clicked on the one that said the game pump, and when I clicked on it, it loaded for 5% and then went back to the app menu. I'm not 100% across what has happened to you there. You mean the application being Twitch? Given I don't have my own Game Pump app yet. Doubtful obviously knows what you're talking about. Either that or she's faking it. It heard me dissing it. That's because it listens in on your conversations. Although, you know, Google's pretty guilty of that too. Close and reopen my Twitch app. Check if he's still streaming and it worked fine. Apple's a bit better with their privacy now. At one stage, didn't they have like an 18,000 page privacy statement? And people were just, you know, just clicking OK. Because obviously who's going to read 18,000 pages? It says I'm still streaming here. My little green box has gone red a couple of times, but it hasn't dropped. Dunk. OBS is pretty good at letting you know when you're not anywhere but in your own room. Oh yeah, there was some stoush where government, and I think it was again going back to the USA. The USA government wanted the details of someone's phone, and Apple said that they wouldn't provide it. Like they were trying to sue Apple to get. Oh, thanks for the lurk again. Yeah, it wasn't just about getting access, like using the phone though, like unlocking it for another SIM card or something. I think the US government actually wanted like all the data off of someone's phone, and they wanted Apple to provide it to them, but Apple wouldn't. It went through quite a lengthy court battle, and Apple wouldn't do it. So I mean, kudos to them for that. But it sort of set a precedent for the government to just, get into anyone's phone. Google has that for a lot of programs too, but if you say don't, it's just like, well, you can't use the app, too bad. Boop. So, it's like, we will track you, or you just have a 2000 model phone, which does phone calls and nothing else. Yeah, I can imagine. Facebook with its bloody algorithm. It won't know what to post in your feed if it doesn't know where you are and what you're doing. Although their algorithm obviously broke for me at some stage, because I was getting ads for motorbike fork rings for months in my Facebook feed, and I haven't so much as sat on a motorcycle for like 20 years, so I don't know why all these fork ring ads kept coming up in my... It's not like I was going to be repairing a motorbike. I don't even ride one anymore. Yeah, well, that's their business model. I'm sure they'll still make money, they just won't make as much money. That's kind of the problem we face at the moment, I think, is when people aren't just happy enough making a profit. They need to make super profits. I need 5 times my money back isn't enough. I need 10 times my money back, or it's not worth it. I think that sort of attitude is ruining a lot of things at the moment. I think the big thing that had me come unstuck with Apple is just how fixed you were to the Apple Store. And I spent a lot of money buying a lot of albums on the Apple Store way back when they had iPods. So I don't think they do those anymore. And I had iTunes on my PC, I had an iPod, and then I got another iPod, and then I got an iPhone. By the time I got the iPhone, the Apple Store just sort of said, you've reached your maximum number of copies of this, you'll need to buy it again. It's kind of like, bullshit, I'm buying it again. I paid full price for this, and if I purchased it on a CD, I could just burn it onto whatever device I liked. So that's what killed Apple for me. Let's make a sword and then some iron pickaxes. Sword. Oh yeah, that feels good. Sword back in there for now too. Mine won't break for a while. That's all sandstone. It sounds like you're an Apple fan, and that's okay. My own brother is an Apple fan, so, you know, there's one in the family. I'm used to it. My Minecraft Steve here just ate some apples, so, you know, who am I to judge? If you got that much Apple gear around you, no wonder you lock the doors so the kangaroos can't get in. Well, there's been a lot of creepers lately. Give me the shits. It's like a convention. Bands for my watch. I didn't even bother to buy a mousepad. Currently using iPad case flat as mousepad, works pretty well. I got one of those desks that goes bzz, 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 and like the whole surface is a mousepad. So that's cool. I don't need a mousepad either. And actually the desk is completely silent. I have to make the bzz, bzz, bzz sound for it. Which I don't mind, but, you know, paid a lot of money for it. I was hoping it'd make its own buzz buzz sound. Can't creep it. We can't have you hanging out there all day. Let's get rid of the last of these stone pickaxes. Do not recommend using the iPad as a mousepad and hardware, judging by my cracked screen. Did you get angry and slam the mouse down on it, or is it just a really heavy mouse? Is it actually a rat? I would have thought it'd just scratch it, dragging it over the top. Or do you just use your finger? I'm just so old I didn't know this. Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, totally get it. No, yeah. Last one. I think it's the last one. Yeah, they're all iron. And here's some more iron. More iron. Oh, won't have to use stone again for ages. This is awesome. I'm really gonna have to stock up on iron before I tackle my next mountain. That was so painful not having the iron for that. Oops. Oh. I order a canoe on Amazon? Are you asking my permission or if Amazon sells canoes? Will I get in trouble with your parents if I say yes, you're allowed to? Or are there no consequences for me whatsoever? Because that changes things. Second one. Go ahead and order that canoe. You only live once. I mean, the Amazon is a river. You need a canoe from Amazon. Yeah. I don't know how much space you got at your place, but canoes are a bit larger than most birds. I don't know if you've ever been to Central Australia and seen the size of some of those eagles. You know, they get pretty close. But I feel like your bird's not that big. Or birds. You had 3, didn't you? Those are just some dealing with back pain noises. For those unfamiliar with such noises. When someone says farm, that does generally conjure up pictures of a lot of space in my head. So, yep, sure, if you can fit a canoe, that sounds like you can, go for it. A farm just north of Perth, you got a lot of vineyards around there. If you have a vineyard, is that what the farm is? Excuse me. Coconut trees. Like just for shits and giggles, or is that what you farm? I don't know what that would have to do with a canoe though. Keep coconuts in the canoe. That was almost a tongue twister. Nice, you do corn, huh? We're only on about 700 square meters here, but we got a bit of food. Got some corn stalks. Whole half a dozen. It's just to keep on the property because it's timberland. You can't place a title on timberlands. I don't think I know enough about my property law to know exactly what that means. But what you're saying is there's some space that basically does nothing. I see, I see. So your family owns the property from some weird historical deal, like was your great-great-grandfather was given it after serving in in Gallipoli in World War One or something like that. Because I imagine if you purchased the land, that wouldn't be an issue. I mean, then you'd have a title on it, I guess. Katunk. First iron pickaxe in a long time. Felt so good. It was so quick. Gonna need a bed down here. City getting bigger in population, my dad hopes he will know the future mayor. Take him for a little drink sesh with the papers and sign his intention. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. So you're like right out of a city, out of council property and everything. When you say just north of Perth, do you mean like 500 kilometres north of Perth? Yes, I don't want my throat cut in the middle of the night by ASIO. Best not say anything. I drank my tea. Oh no, there's still tea left. Ooh. I was about to be all sad, but there was tea left. I'll be sad in 5 minutes' time though when I forget and try to drink tea again. That's gotta be a sad zombie. All his friends are burning, but he's not. Why did they take everybody but me? It's just not fair. Okay, so here's a guy with Sunny's and Tamar. Just tell him it was the game, punk. That'll throw him. He made me sound like every bloody truck driver in the country. Gonna send Sparky Boom Man after me. He'd be scary. forgot about the canoe already. Is there any reason you want a canoe apart from, you know, to catch falling leaves on a suspect farm somewhere? Pseudo farm. That'd be a good Twitch link. Pseudo farm. If any of your mates join Twitch, tell them to call themselves Pseudo farm. Yeah, me too. I get distracted easily too. Understand. You're right. Can't compete. Thought that was you. Wasn't going to say anything though in case I was wrong. No, it wasn't on here. It was on that other app. The one that sounds like timber. Where are we? Iron pickaxe. No, I'm confused too. I do that to myself sometimes as well. Especially when I accidentally open a line of conversation that I don't want to follow. So excuse me. Horses. They have manes. Makes them the main animal. No other animals have manes, and if they do, I don't want to know about it. that I didn't want to know about. Zebras are horses. They're the same shape, they're just smaller and have a different pattern on them. And they sound really African American in movies. I can't believe I've gone through all my iron pickaxes already. Giraffe have a mane, technically? Like, I could see how maybe it would be. Are we gonna have to Google what's giraffe's hair called? What about a Maine Coon cat? I know the Maine and Maine Coon is spelt differently, but I mean, they're pretty fluffy. But I guess that's their whole body, not just around the head. You think he'd still be there? He'd still have a mane if it was shampooed. It's winter. It'll dry your hair out. But it'll go really curly in summer if it gets humid. Actually, it doesn't really get that humid in Perth, does it? The booze. Buys lots of booze. Yeah, if you buy alcohol instead of food, your life ain't gonna be great. I think it was only like 2009 when Russia classified beer as alcohol instead of food. I think it was something like anything under 7% alcohol was considered food, not alcohol, in Russia, which means like technically children were allowed to drink beer. I think that changed in like 2009. A little bit of offhand trivia, which is probably only partially correct. No, it's not raining here currently. It's been pretty dry these last couple of days, thankfully, because it was very wet in the months beforehand. You are 6,000 kilometers away. It's possible to be raining there and not here. Yeah, well, it's typically fairly dry here for winter. Though it hasn't been the last couple of years. We've had fairly wet winters, but still not too bad. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm so used to making stone pickaxes instead of iron ones that I made a whole bunch more stone pickaxes. Oh, Melbourne. Yeah, they pronounce the U. I think they get annoyed at us for having the U in there and not pronouncing it. It's probably one of the few times. But I mean, they don't put U's in a lot of their words. I don't think they're used to it. Used to it. Nah. He's still there. Survived another generation of zombies. Dying before his very eyes. Spelled traveller as traveller, which is a red flag. Not dating any Americans because of how they spell things now, huh? Oh, there goes that ankle again. Oh, why is there another creeper? He's seen me, he's seen me, he's seen me! Most Australians, I grew up watching Sesame Street. The biggest problem with that, of course, is that I would say Z instead of Z. And I always preferred Z instead of Z as a kid because it rhymed with that whole little, it worked much better with that rhyme at the end of the alphabet. Now I know my ABCs. Next time won't you sing with me? Just work better with Z than Z. And to me, as like a 5-year-old, just made it, made Z better. Took me ages to unlearn it. Feed the burbs. They'll be getting cranky. Another iron one. Let's use another iron one before going back to those stone ones I accidentally made. Okay. So what I'm reading there is you poop better now that you have birds? Is that what you're trying to say? Just going about it in a roundabout way? birds. I did a lot of research into their proper indoor diet and what they should be eating, and I read that they should have a mix of 20 to 30 veggies chopped for them every day in varying portions so that it hits all the needed nutrient needs. Yeah, that sounds like a very, very varied diet. I think the WHO recommendation for people is only 5. Veggies in a day, that is. So once a month I chop a lot of veggies for the birds, and yes, you can freeze the bird chop. Dedication. Oh, I feel a bit lost here. What am I doing? Hunting down iron. I think 2 slots with. And I just had an idea about this that I'm going to chop into it now before I forget. The thing with birds is that we know little to none about their diet, and so we just generalize the needs and what could go wrong with veggies. Well, I don't know if they're a carnivore, I guess a lot. But, yeah, well, I mean, I don't personally know a lot about the diets of birds. Had chickens from time to time, and they're pretty good garbage disposal units. The veggies comes a varying seed mix that costs more than the food I eat, yeah. Yeah, legit food is kind of similar. Ah! I have to come back here with a piece of stone to fix that. If only I was using a stone pickaxe, huh? Wouldn't happen so quick, and my dodgy reflexes could have reacted in time. Parrot pellets out there. It's just like commercial dog food. It's very processed, made up with 90% cornmeal or other cheap filler that can cause gout and other terrible stuff. Yeah, gout's pretty rough, especially in a creature with such small joints. You don't want to inflict that on them, that's for sure. It's very pretty under a microscope though, gout. Those little urea crystals. They're very spiky. You can see why it hurts so much. Iron pickaxe. Boop. This bird only keeps their pets in a millet diet. It's very sad that the bird is eating a very fat-rich diet. The bird's probably not sad about it. I imagine they probably crave fat just like any mammal. But yes, not healthy for the bird. Yeah, look. Eating hamburgers my whole life would suck if I knew better, but if you didn't know any better, you'd probably be pretty happy about it. Like, you'd feel like shit, but you probably wouldn't make the connection between your diet and hamburgers. You'd just be craving that next hamburger. Sunflower seeds. Hamburgers for lovebirds. Those things are fatty as, aren't they? Sunflower seeds. It's filled with sunflower oil. Same with millet, very omega-3 rich. At least their joints won't squeak. Ah. Missing it. Omega-3 is pro-inflammatory. Ah, the omega-6. I thought so. I get mixed up sometimes. Isn't there like an omega-12 as well? Keep squaring up the numbers. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm probably going to have to finish this up soon. Getting sore and tired. It's getting late. Early start, kids and all that again. Let's just put this back in there. I don't want to be making a precedent of placing blocks in this project, but I was pretty keen on what this was going to become, so I'll do that. Legume, like a pea. Yeah, I was just saying to Staffel how I'm probably going to finish up soon. At least stopping the stream anyway. I'll still have to export it and maybe make clips or whatever. If there's anything good in here. It probably is. Thanks to Oxtreto. Been having some amusing conversations. Yeah, will do. I never have any problems falling asleep, I can tell you that much. I might just finish off one more Minecraft day, you know, just that whole addict thing about just one more. There's lots of foods to rant about. Go for your life. Plenty of material. Write some down for the next stream. Try and make a prediction about what the next superfood will be. Some grain from the far side of a Nepalese mountain. The harder to get, the better, because that's the more you can charge for it. Yeah, I used to live in a property with 8 avocado trees on it, and even with only 8 trees I couldn't keep up. I was giving away milk crates of them. I think avocado has been through its whole superfood phase though. I think it's probably on the way out. Once it's not popular anymore, millennials will be able to buy houses again. Freed from the shackles of avocado purchases. Yeah, I think it's like that for a lot of animals. I don't think we can give it to the dog either. And you couldn't give it to the chickens. I remember that was one of the scraps we couldn't give to our chickens was avocados. So yeah, it's probably just toxic to birds in general. Some people buy avocados. Occasionally I've purchased one. But yeah, generally won't pay more than $1 per avocado. That's kind of overpriced. We've got some very good farmers markets here, so when the supermarkets go a bit crazy, you can just make that extra footwork and go to the farmers market. Has free along some coconut sweet corn. Birds love them and the husk too. They like to play. Mangoes, sometimes even bananas. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought you'd get bananas that far south. We've got a lot of coconuts around here, being in central Queensland, and yeah, the dog loves them. He just tears them to bits. Cacao. Dad's going crazy with the whole tree balling thing. We've been growing some coffee lately, just on that whole bean on the tree thing. But I don't know about cacao beans. Haven't come across that yet. But man, the amount of bloody work to get enough coffee beans roasted to make a cup of coffee. It's I hear a lot of people whinging about $5 for a cup of coffee, but I tell you what, if you make your own coffee beans, you'll understand why. Manages an apple tree. Are you saying he's not good at gardening, or? No, we don't have a lot of stone fruits here. We're probably a little bit too tropical. Although I did live next to someone who had a peach tree in their backyard, right next to a mango. Well, actually, yeah, there was a mango tree probably 20 meters from it. But no, a banana patch right next to the peach tree. It's fairly unique seeing those two fruits right next to each other. That one will survive here, peaches. We get a lot of citrus here. But yeah, not so much in the way of apples or plums, peaches, that sort of stuff. You can barely walk down the street without a coconut falling on your head though. Bananas and mangoes are everywhere too, as are passion fruit. Maybe you'll make a frickin' sarcophagus for it to grow. I don't know. I'm not sure I fully understand that one either. Duck farming phase, so I'll get on time consuming. How to Make Ducks Pay book. That was a meme for a while. Is that meant to be Peking Duck, or you meant to write Peking Duck? You're going to have to take those emus and declare war on autocorrect at some stage. Then autocorrect will attack you and turn your emus into egos. Llamas. Okay. That's the end of that Minecraft day. Let's go around this way. Goats, check. Cows, check. Pigs, check. He stopped because he scared ASF would come around. Horses are kind of like llamas. Do llamas have manes? Huh? Huh? Short manes all over their body. I think it's called something different when it's all over their body. Damn technicalities. Okay, well, I'm going to sign off for sure this time. Let's see what the thing says though. Swedish again. Doesn't use the U word. I don't know what that means either. Yeah, thank you to you too. The stream's a much more entertaining place when you're here. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just going to do some tappy stuff on the computer and then go to sleep. Hopefully be on tomorrow night, but I could be pushing it 3 nights in a row. My partner's doubtful. Probably wants some human connection in the house at night. So we'll see how we go. But I'll definitely be on through the week. But yeah, thanks again. Appreciate it. Love the chats. Yeah, good night. I'm just going to go before it gets really awkward. Catch you later.